In section 5.7, we are asked to find solutions for a triangle, which means finding all of the sides and angles that we don't know. And in this particular section, we're using the law of sines, which sometimes weird things happen when we use the law of sines. So first of all, we start off with our triangle labeled in this way, where the angles are labeled with capital A, B, and C, and then the sides opposite these capital letters are the lowercase letter equivalent of A, B, and C. Okay, the law of sines says that sine of an angle over its opposite side, that ratio is the same for any angle and its opposite. Or in other words, sine of A over A is equal to sine of B over B, which is also equal to sine of C over C. And keep in mind the denominators are all the length of the sides, and the numerators, A, B, and C, represent the angles of the triangle. So in this particular case, the information that we were given involves lowercase a and uppercase A, so let's use that part of this equation. So I have sine of 150 degrees over 6. And then the last piece of information we were given is that side B is 8. So side B is 8. We're using this middle part of the equation. And then the only part of the equation, if we just use these two pieces, that we don't know is angle B. So we can solve for angle B. So here I'm going to multiply both sides by 8. So I'm going to write sine of B on the left, multiply by 8, so that's equivalent to putting 8 in the numerator with the sine of 150 degrees. And then what I want to do is figure out what B is equal to. So if I do that, I find that sine of B is equal to 2/3. Well, then we're going to use what's called the inverse sine function to determine the value of angle B. Well, in this case, B is equal to the inverse sine of 2/3. So plug that into your calculator, again making sure that you're in degree mode. And what your calculator should give you for an approximation of the measure of angle B is 41.8 degrees. However, remember from our given information that angle A is 150 degrees, and now we're finding that angle B is about 42 degrees. And it's impossible for a triangle to have angles that add up to more than 180 degrees, which is what we find in this particular case. So we know then that this is not going to work as a solution to this triangle, and then therefore there is no solution. So there are no triangles that are possible with the information that was given to us. Now, in the book, they give you a whole bunch of stipulations for determining whether a triangle has 0 solutions, 1 solution, or 2 solutions. But honestly, in my opinion, it's actually less confusing to just go ahead and try and solve for the triangle and determine what will happen after that. So in this case, we tried to solve, we got what B is, and it clearly showed us that there would be no solution.